Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new video. Sorry you guys, I just haven't been feeling well these past couple of days. My back has been giving me the worst back pain ever. But anyways, I wanted to ask you guys a question. From now on, I'm gonna do like longer videos. Let me know if you guys like the 8-9 minute short videos, or if you guys like 30-minute videos, 1 hour videos, more stories, like whatever you guys would like, just let me know. Anyways, be sure to subscribe and be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and let's get started. Am I the a-hole for judging my husband after he introduced me to his friend's mistress? So me, 25 female, and my husband, 30 male, went out to dinner with this friend he's always talking about, and I didn't get the chance to meet before. Husband told me he's married with kids and he's always inviting us, but we have kids too. I am a stay-at-home mom with no support system close by, so in order to go out, we had to arrange childcare. I asked who's coming to the dinner, and he mentions this friend and his girl, other couple that I do know, and us. Dinner was really nice. I had a great time and actually clicked immediately with this woman. Most of my husband's friends are bachelors, so I find it cool that his friends with this couple I can relate more to. We even planned a trip during the dinner, and they showed us all these amazing places they've traveled to. When it's time to leave, we all got out of the restaurant, but she went to the restroom. I think that's what she meant to say. It's freezing cold, so we said bye, and I told his friend, "Say bye to your wife. It was really nice to meet her." He looked at me, laughed, and says, "She's not my wife." I am shocked, so I go like, "Oh, sorry, my bad." We got in the car and I'm speechless, so my husband asked me what's wrong, and I asked him what was that about. Isn't she the mother of his kids? Is she basically his mistress? He explained to me that he's an arranged marriage religious. Oh, I hate when they say that, like, "Oh, my wife, I was forced to marry her and I'm only with her for the kid." Like, shut up. That actually happens to me too. Anyways, he explained to me that he's in a arranged religious marriage, so it's different, and this is the girl he actually loves and takes everywhere. That doesn't make me feel better at all, because a lot of our arguments about me feeling like the trophy wife holding it down at home while he's living his best life with his bachelor friends. I know at least 2 other friends of his that cheat openly on their wives the same exact way, and he always says he's nobody to judge them. So I told him I just think it's bad that most of your friends play to have wifey at home taking care of the kids while they're out living their best bachelor lives, and that if your husband is hanging out with 3 friends who are openly cheating on their wives, you're gonna tell me that he's not doing that behind your back? Anyways, and that if it was me, the one always hanging out with cheaters, he would feel some type of way too. I can honestly say I relate to my closest friends. They're good women with good values. I don't see how I could hang out regularly with cheaters and women I simply don't relate to. So at this point, I'm just not buying it that he's the only one different in this friend circle. I don't know if I'm being insecure, but I really feel dumb. You don't feel stupid. I think he's really, I don't know. People say people who have the same interests hang out, like, especially men. If you're telling me all these men cheat, but he doesn't, and now he's the one that's upset because I ruined the night based on something that is out of his control and that he's nobody to judge. I don't know, OP. I feel like something is going on. Like, you're not gonna say, "Oh, I'm hanging out with all these men, all of them cheat on their wives openly, and I'm not cheating." Like, I just don't know. Men just have a very long track record of being shady when their friends are shady. I don't know. I would be very suspicious, and I would stay awake with one eye open. Top comment: it's totally fair to feel weird about this. Finding out your husband's friend brought his mistress instead of his wife would throw anyone off. Plus, if a lot of his friends openly cheat, it makes sense you'd be uncomfortable with that crowd. Your feelings are valid, especially if it makes you question things in your own relationship. It's not about controlling who hangs out with who, but how it impacts you and your values. He should at least understand why this bothers you instead of brushing it off. I don't know. I feel like if you bring something up to someone, and instead of them just reassuring you and acting normal, if they start acting up crazy or start acting up upset or just doing too much, then your feelings just may be valid. Am I the a-hole for snapping at my wife and calling her crazy because she wants me to take a paternity test for my nephew? My wife and I have been married for 10 years and together 14. We are child free. I also have a nephew who's currently 13, and I'm not going to lie, he looks a lot like me and has a lot of the same facial features as me. I am really proud of him and we have a close bond. I have played a father-like role in his life since he was a kid. He has a deadbeat father and my sister divorced him long ago. A couple of my family members have commented on how my nephew looks a lot like me. And while I initially thought it was wholesome, my wife for some reason became very insecure and started getting doubts. She was questioning why I needed to play such a prominent role in my nephew's life, why my nephew had autism, etc. The insinuation just became weird and made me uncomfortable. I do agree that my sister has played some part in my wife's insecurities because of her dry humor. During family gatherings, my sister jokes a lot about how wholesome it is that her son looks like me and that she couldn't be happier. It's obviously a joke, but I spoke to my sister and asked if she would tone it down a bit because it was making my wife a bit crazy. However, last night my wife asked if I could take a paternity test just for her peace of mind. That's when I finally snapped and called her crazy, and that marrying her was the biggest mistake of my life. I did immediately regret saying it because I meant none of it. My wife is the love of my life, but my wife got quiet and started crying shortly after, and I had to console her. Was I the a-hole? Let me get this straight. The nephew that is in question here is not his brother's child. It's his sister's child. It would be something different. Crazy still, but something different if it was his brother's child, because that would mean this guy would sleep with his sister-in-law. But for her to question the paternity of this nephew is crazy because this is his sister's child. Why would he sleep with his sister? That's literally psychotic. Plus, family members look alike all the time. I don't get it. Is that a new phenomenon? Am I the a-hole for calling my husband's coworker at his corporate party for flirting with him right in front of me? Last weekend, my husband's company held a big corporate party. This was the first time I was meeting his colleagues, so I wanted to make a good impression. We sat down at a table with his team, and everyone seemed nice at first. But as the night went on, I noticed one of his female coworkers across the table glancing at my husband a lot. She kept catching his eye, holding it a bit too long, and then out of nowhere, she winked at him. I tried to brush it off as some odd coincidence, but she kept looking over at him, smiling, and then looking away like they had some inside joke. It didn't end there. Some of his coworkers started teasing them, making little remarks like, "You two just can't help yourselves," and "Don't you miss sitting next to each other every day?" My husband just laughed and shrugged it off, but he didn't exactly try to shut it down either. I tried to ignore it, but every glance she sent his way started to feel like a slap in the face. I even asked him quietly if there was something he needed to tell me, but he insisted it was just office banter and not a big deal. Office banter or his office wife? Ooh. The whole thing came to a head when she got up to get a drink, winked at him again, and one of his friends nudged him saying, "Looks like someone's eager for some one-on-one time." I was done. I leaned forward and said loudly, "If there's something you two want to share, I'm sure we'd all love to hear it." It got dead silent. She turned red, mumbled something about needing to use the restroom, and left. My husband was furious. He says I embarrassed him, made everyone uncomfortable, and overreacted to harmless fun. He insists they're just friends and I took it too far. But I feel like her behavior was totally inappropriate, and his refusal to put a stop to it hurt more than anything. Now he's barely speaking to me, and I'm wondering if I went overboard. Am I the a-hole? Top comment. Anyways, the coworkers were telling you what's going on when you're not around. They're not discreet. Your husband didn't shut them down because he didn't want to offend her. If nothing was going on, they would all laugh at your comment off right there. They were enjoying flirt in front of you, thinking you wouldn't react and she'd feel superior. I'd ask to see their chats on his phone and their work convos. Why aren't they sitting next to each other anymore? He's using silent treatment to distract you, but he and his coworkers embarrassed you with their behavior. Notably, the coworkers said they can't help themselves, so your husband was doing something back. Yeah, something back, probably winking too, while next to his wife. Yeah, like, why would she feel that comfortable to be doing all of that in front of you when you're literally right there? Clearly, your husband made this woman comfortable for her to be doing that. Women don't be doing crazy things like this. Okay, let me not say that. But clearly, she feels comfortable enough to be acting like this while you're there. So imagine what they're doing behind your back. Like, I hate when people get gaslighted. "Oh, you embarrassed me. You flirting with another woman in front of me is not embarrassing." Well, Pete actually replied to that comment saying, "The way they all went quiet when I spoke just felt revealing, like they all knew I wasn't supposed to notice what was going on. It honestly didn't feel like innocent banter, especially since no one laughed it off. Afterward, they just let it hang there. And you're right, he's more upset at me for calling it out than he was at her for flirting in front of me. It feels like he's deflecting rather than being honest, and now I can't help but question what else he's hiding." Then she replied to another commenter saying, "This whole situation screams red flags. The fact that everyone felt comfortable enough to make those comments right in front of me makes it seem like they're all in something I'm not. And his reaction acting like I'm the problem for calling it out just makes it worse. It feels like he's trying to make me doubt my own judgment instead of actually reassuring me." Exactly. He's trying to make her feel like when someone tests your judgment or your intelligence, it's clearly so insulting. Because how the hell are you flirting with a woman in front of me? All your friends are in it. It's not like this woman is just looking at her husband and winking and licking her lips like some perv in the corner or something. She's his coworker. She's flirting. He's giggling. Everybody around them is in it, making jokes. So clearly there's more going on. Man, this is crazy. He's just probably cheating. That's just his work wife.